Your test
April
results are
12th.
back.
The
And
phone hasn't
overall,
rung in a
things
week.
are looking quite good.
I told the home care
We'll discuss
agency
the
I
next
was feeling
steps.
weaker,
Your test
that I
results
was
are
having
back.
trouble getting to
And
the kitchen.
overall, things are
They said
looking
they'd try
quite
to find
good.
someone,
We'll
but that
discuss
so
the
many
next
people were
steps.
waiting.
Your test results are
The
back.
silence in this
And
house has been
overall,
the only
things are
reply.
looking quite good.
This entry
We'll
wasn't
discuss
written
the
by
next
just one
steps.
person.
Your test
It could have
results
been
are
written by
back.
thousands.
And overall,
The
things are
story you're
looking
about to
quite
hear
good.
is a composite,
We'll discuss the next
a reflection of
steps. Your
countless
test
unheard
results are
cries and
back.
diaries that were
And
never found.
overall, things are looking
It's the
quite
story
good.
of what it means to
We'll
grow
discuss
bold
the
and
next
be
steps.
forgotten
Your
in a
test
system that's
results are
breaking
back.
under its own
And
weight.
overall, things
We'll
are
call
looking
her
quite good.
Evelyn,
We'll discuss
and her
the
story
next
is a
steps.
national
Your
shame,
test results are back.
hidden in plain
And
sight.
overall, things are looking
Evelyn
quite
worked
good.
her entire
We'll
life.
discuss the next steps.
She was a
Your
school
test
librarian,
results are back.
a woman
And
who found
overall,
joy in the
things are
quiet
looking quite
rustle of
good.
pages and the
We'll
eager
discuss the
faces of
next
children.
steps. Your test
She
results
paid
are
her
back.
taxes, saved
And
what she
overall,
could,
things are
and
looking
raised a
quite
family.
good.
She did
We'll discuss
everything
the
she
next
was supposed to
steps.
do.
Your test results are
She
back.
never
And
imagined
overall, things
that
are
in her
looking
final
quite
years,
good.
her own
We'll
life
discuss
story
the
would
next
end in
steps. Your test
isolation
results are
and
back.
neglect.
And
A
overall,
silent
things are looking
testament to a
quite
crisis
good.
sweeping across
We'll
the
discuss
nation,
the next steps.
and indeed the
Your
world.
test results are back.
This isn't
And
just one
overall,
woman's
things are
tragic
looking
end.
quite good.
It's an
We'll
examination
discuss
of a
the next
societal
steps.
promise
Your
being
test
broken.
results are back.
It's about
And
the
overall,
millions of
things
older
are looking
adults
quite
falling through
good.
the
We'll
ever-widening
discuss
cracks
the
in our
next
care
steps.
systems,
Your test
their
results are
dignity
back.
eroding day
And
by day
overall,
behind
things are
closed
looking quite
doors.
good. We'll
Evelyn's
discuss the
final
next
diary
steps.
entry
Your
is a
test
key that
results are
opens a
back.
door to a
And
room
overall,
society
things are
has
looking
tried
quite
to
good.
keep sealed.
We'll discuss the next
Inside
steps.
is the
Your
story of
test
how we
results
are
are back.
failing
And
our
overall,
elders.
things are looking quite
Evelyn's
good.
world started to
We'll
shrink
discuss
after her
the next
husband passed
steps.
away.
Your test results
Her children
are back.
lived in other
And
states,
overall,
busy with their
things
own
are
lives.
looking quite good.
Friends moved
We'll
or faced
discuss
their
the
own
next
health
steps.
battles.
Your test
Soon
results
the
are back.
four walls of
And
her home
overall,
became
things
her
are looking
entire
quite
world.
good. We'll
The
discuss
Daily
the next
Mail was an
steps. Your
event.
test
A
results are
wrong
back.
number was a
And
brief,
overall,
welcome
things are
connection to
looking
the
quite
outside
good.
world.
We'll discuss
Her
the next
diary
steps.
chronicles
Your
the
test
slow,
results are back.
creeping
And
loneliness.
overall, things are
June
looking
3rd.
quite good.
Margaret
We'll
from next
discuss
door
the
used
next
to check in.
steps. Your test results
She's in
are
a nursing
back.
home now.
And overall,
Her son
things
said
are
it was
looking
for the
quite
best.
good. We'll
I wonder
discuss
who
the
will
next
know if I
steps.
don't answer
Your
the
test
door one
results
day.
are back.
I
And
wonder how
overall,
long
things
it
are
would
looking
take.
quite good. We'll
Evelyn's
discuss
experience
the
is
next
terrifyingly
steps. Your
common.
test results are back.
In the U.S.,
And
about
overall,
30% of
things are
adults
looking
aged
quite
50
good.
to 80 report
We'll
feeling
discuss the
lonely.
next steps.
That
Your
loneliness
test
is
results are
exacerbated by
back.
physical and mental
overall,
health
things
challenges.
are looking quite
Some
good.
studies show that for
We'll
adults
discuss the next
75 and
steps.
older,
Your test
the suicide
results are
rate is
back.
among the
And
highest of
overall,
any age
things are
group in the
looking
country.
quite good. We'll
This
discuss the
isolation
next
isn't just an
steps. Your
emotional
test
burden,
results are back.
it's a physical
And overall,
danger.
things are
It's a
looking
silent
quite
breeding
good.
ground for
We'll
depression and
discuss the
declining
next
health,
steps.
where
Your
a
test
simple
results are
fall can
back.
become a death
And
sentence,
overall,
and
things
a
are
cry for
looking
help
quite good.
goes completely
We'll discuss
unheard.
the next steps.
For
Your test
millions,
results are
this is
back.
the reality
And
of aging in
overall,
place.
things are looking quite
Not
good.
a comfortable
We'll
choice,
discuss the next
but a
steps.
harsh
Your test
necessity
results are
born from a
back.
lack of
And
options.
overall,
They're
things are
alone,
looking
not
quite
because they
good.
want to be,
We'll discuss
but
the
because
next
the support
steps. Your
systems have
test
all but
results are back.
vanished.
And overall,
Evelyn
things
knew
are
she
looking
needed
quite
help.
good. We'll
Arthritis
discuss
made
the next
dressing a
steps. Your
painful
test
ordeal,
results are back.
and her memory,
And
once sharp,
overall,
was
things are
starting to
looking
betray
quite
her.
good.
She
We'll
looked into her
discuss the
options,
next
and the
steps. Your
numbers
test
were
results are back.
staggering.
And overall,
In
things are looking
2025,
quite
the
good.
national
We'll
median
discuss
cost for
the
a
next
semi-private
steps. Your
room in a
test
nursing
results are
home
back.
is over
And overall, things are
$9,500 a
looking
month.
quite good.
That's
We'll
more than
discuss the next steps. Your test
$114,000
results
a
are
year.
back. And
A private
overall,
room can
things
push
are
that
looking
figure
quite
closer to
good.
$11,000
We'll
a
discuss
month.
the next steps.
Even
Your
in-home
test results
care,
are back.
often seen as a
And
more
overall,
affordable
things are
alternative,
looking quite
averages
good.
over
We'll discuss
$6,000 a
the
month
next
for a
steps.
standard
Your test results are
44-hour
back.
week.
And
For
overall,
round-the-clock
things
care,
are looking
the cost
quite
can
good.
become
We'll
astronomical,
discuss the next
potentially
steps.
exceeding
Your test results are back.
$18,000 a month.
And overall, things are
Evelyn's
looking
diary
quite
reflects
good.
her despair.
We'll discuss the next steps.
September
Your
21st,
test results are
I called
back.
3
And
agencies today.
overall, things
The
are looking
cost,
quite good.
it's more than my
We'll
entire
discuss the
monthly
next
income.
steps. Your test
They
results
asked
are
if I
back.
had long-term
And
care
overall,
insurance.
things
I
are
never
looking
knew I'd
quite
need
good.
it. I
We'll
thought
discuss the
Medicare would
next
cover it.
steps. Your test
They told me
results
it
are back.
doesn't.
And
Not for this kind of help.
Things are looking quite
I feel
good.
trapped,
We'll
a
discuss
prisoner
the
in
next
my own
steps.
home,
Your test results
in my
are
own
back.
body.
And overall,
This is a
things are
brutal
looking quite
awakening for
good.
millions.
We'll discuss the
Medicare,
next steps.
the
Your
healthcare
test
bedrock for
results are
seniors,
back.
does
And
not cover
overall,
most
things are
long-term
looking quite
custodial
good.
care, the
We'll
very
discuss
help
the
with
next
daily
steps.
living that
Your
so many
test
people
results are
require.
back. And
Medicaid can
overall,
help,
things are
but the
looking quite
eligibility
good.
rules are strict,
We'll discuss the
often
next
requiring a
steps.
person
Your
to
test
spend down their
results are
life
back.
savings to almost
And
nothing.
overall, things are
This
looking
leaves a
quite good.
massive gap where
We'll
people like
discuss the
Evelyn
next
live,
steps.
not
Your
poor
test
enough for
results
government
are
aid,
back.
but
And
nowhere near
overall,
wealthy enough
things are
to
looking
afford care
quite
on their
good.
own.
We'll
The
discuss
result
the
is that a
next steps.
stunning
Your
number of
test
adults who
results
have
are back.
difficulty with daily
And
tasks
overall,
like
things
dressing
are
or
looking
bathing
quite good.
receive no
We'll
help at
discuss
all.
the next steps.
When
Your
Evelyn
test
finally
results are back.
qualified for a few
And
hours of
overall,
subsidized
things are
in-home care
looking
each
quite
week,
good.
it felt
We'll
like a
discuss the next
lifeline.
steps. Your test
But that
results are
lifeline was
back.
frayed.
And overall,
November
things are
15th.
looking quite good. We'll
The
discuss the
caregiver was
next
late
steps.
again.
Your test
She seemed
results are
angry,
back.
told
And
me I asked for
overall,
too
things are
much.
looking quite good.
When she was helping me
We'll
dress, she
discuss the
grabbed my
next
arm
steps.
so
Your
hard it
test
left a
results are
mark.
back. And
I didn't say
overall,
anything.
things are looking quite
I'm
good.
afraid they'll stop sending
We'll
anyone
discuss
at all.
the next steps.
Fear
Your
is the
test results
currency
are
of
back.
this hidden
And
crisis.
overall, things are
It's
looking
estimated
quite
that
good.
about 1 in 10
We'll
Americans
discuss the
over
next
60 who
steps.
live at
Your
home
test results are back.
experience some form
And
of
overall,
abuse.
things are
In
looking
nursing
quite
homes,
good.
that number can
We'll
be
discuss
even
the
higher.
next steps. Your
And that's
test
just the
results
tip
are
of the
back.
iceberg.
And overall,
Elder
things
abuse
are
is one
looking
of the
quite
most
good.
underreported
We'll discuss
crimes.
the next steps.
For every
Your
case
test
of
results are
caregiver
back.
neglect that is
And
reported,
overall, things
it's
are looking
estimated
quite
that as
good.
many as
We'll
57
discuss
other
the next
cases go
steps. Your test
undocumented.
results are back.
For
And
financial abuse,
overall, things
only
are looking
1 in
quite good.
44 acts
We'll
may come to
discuss the
light.
next steps. Your
Why the
test results are
silence?
back.
The
And
reasons are
overall,
heartbreaking.
things are looking
Like
quite
Evelyn,
good.
many
We'll
seniors
discuss
are
the next
terrified
steps.
of
Your test
retaliation or
results are
abandonment.
back. And
They depend on
overall,
their
things are
abusers for
looking
their
quite
most
good.
basic needs.
We'll discuss the next
In many
steps.
cases,
Your test
the abuser
results
is
are
a
back.
family member,
And
an
overall,
adult child
things are looking
buckling
quite
under the
good.
immense
We'll
pressure of
discuss
being an
the next
unpaid
steps.
caregiver.
Your test results are
The
back.
system's
And
failures create
overall,
the
things are
perfect
looking
environment for
quite good.
abuse to fester.
We'll discuss the next
A
steps.
nationwide
Your
shortage
test
of
results are
professional
back.
caregivers
And
means that
overall,
existing staff
things
are
are looking
often
quite
overworked,
good. We'll
underpaid,
discuss the
and
next
poorly
steps.
trained,
Your
leading
test
to
results are
burnout
back.
and, in the worst
And
cases,
overall,
neglect.
things are looking quite good.
Victims may also
We'll
suffer
discuss
from
the next
dementia or
steps.
other
Your
cognitive
test
impairments,
results are back.
leaving them
And
unable to
overall,
report what
things
is
are
happening
looking
to
quite
them.
good. We'll
Evelyn's
discuss
story
the next
isn't an
steps.
outlier.
Your test
It's the
results are
direct
back.
product of
And
a systemic
overall,
failure.
things are looking
The
quite
United
good.
States, one
We'll
of the
discuss the
wealthiest
next
nations
steps.
in the
Your
world,
test
is
results
facing
are
a
back.
monumental
And
elder care
overall,
crisis
things
that's
are looking
only
quite
getting
good.
worse.
We'll
By
discuss the next
2030,
steps.
1
Your
in
test
5
results are
Americans will
back.
be
And
65 or
overall,
older.
things are
The
looking
demand
quite
for
good.
care is
We'll discuss
exploding,
the
but
next
the
steps. Your
infrastructure to
test
support
results
it
are back.
is
And
crumbling.
overall, things
The
are looking
workforce
quite
shortage is a
good.
huge part
We'll
of this
discuss the
collapse.
next steps.
Direct
Your
care
test
workers are
results are
leaving the
back.
profession in
And
droves for
overall,
jobs in
things
other
are looking
sectors
quite
that
good.
pay more and
We'll
have
discuss
far
the
less
next steps.
emotional and
Your
physical
test
stress.
results are back.
You
And
can't build a care
overall,
system
things
on
are looking
poverty-level
quite good.
wages, but that's
We'll
what has been
discuss the
attempted.
next steps. Your
Without a
test results are
professional and
back.
respected
And
workforce,
overall,
the
things
burden
are
falls
looking
on
quite
families,
good.
creating
We'll
immense
discuss the next
financial and
steps.
emotional
Your
strain.
test results are
Or it
back.
falls on no
And
one,
overall, things are
leaving
looking
millions
quite good.
utterly alone.
We'll discuss the next
Housing
steps. Your
instability
test results
makes
are
the
back.
crisis
And
even
overall,
worse.
things are looking quite good.
Millions of seniors are
discuss the
severely
next steps.
cost-burdened,
Your test
spending
results
more
are
than
back.
half their
And
fixed
overall,
income on
things are
housing,
looking quite
leaving little
good.
for food,
We'll discuss the
medicine,
next steps.
or the
Your
very
test
care they need
results
to
are back.
survive.
And overall,
Evelyn's
things are
final
looking
diary
quite
entry
good.
was dated
We'll
December
discuss
5th.
the next steps. Your
December
test
5th.
results are back.
The cold
And
is seeping
overall,
in.
things are looking
The
quite
agency
good.
called to say my
We'll
caregiver
discuss
quit.
the next steps.
They don't know
Your
when they
test
can find a
results are
replacement.
back. And
They said to
overall,
call if
things
it's an
are looking quite
emergency.
good.
But what's the
We'll
word
discuss
for an
the next
emergency that
steps.
lasts
Your
for
test
weeks?
results are back.
What's
And
the word for a
overall,
life that
things
is
are looking
slowly,
quite good.
quietly ending?
We'll discuss the next
She was found
steps.
2 weeks
Your
later
test
by a mail
results are
carrier
back.
who noticed
And
the
overall,
newspapers piling
things
up.
are looking quite good.
Evelyn's story
We'll
is a
discuss the
composite, but the
next steps.
crisis
Your
it
test
represents is
results are back.
painfully real.
And overall,
It's
things are
happening in
looking
your
quite
community, on your
We'll
street,
discuss the next
maybe
steps.
even in your own
Your test
family.
results are back.
The first step
And
to
overall,
fixing a
things
problem
are
is to
looking quite good.
refuse to let it
We'll
stay
discuss
invisible.
the next steps.
Share
Your
this
test
video.
results are back.
Start a
And
conversation
overall,
with your
things are
family,
looking
your
quite
friends, your
good.
representatives.
We'll
If
discuss
you have an
the next
experience with the
steps.
care
Your
system,
test
good
results
or
are
bad,
back.
share
And
it in the comments
overall,
below.
things are looking quite good.
Reading these stories
We'll
helps us
discuss the
all
next
understand the
steps. Your
true
test results
scope
are
of this
back.
crisis.
And
We
overall,
can't let
things are
these
looking
stories
quite
remain
good.
buried in
We'll
dusty
discuss the
diaries.
next steps. Your
A
test results
society's
are back.
decency
And
isn't
overall,
measured by its
things are looking
skyscrapers
quite
or its
good.
stock market,
We'll discuss
but by
the next
how it
steps.
treats its
Your
most
test
vulnerable
results are back.
citizens,
And
by how it
overall,
cares for its
things are looking
children,
quite
its
good.
sick,
We'll
and its
discuss the
elders.
next steps. Your
Evelyn's
test
life wasn't a
results are back,
statistic.
and
It was a
overall,
collection of
things are looking
memories,
quite
love,
good.
and
We'll
contributions.
discuss the next steps.
Her lonely
Your
death
test
wasn't
results are
inevitable.
back,
It was
and
a choice
overall,
made by a
things are
system
looking
that
quite good.
devalued her
We'll
existence
discuss
the
the next
moment she
steps.
was no
Your test
longer
results are back,
productive.
and
Her
overall,
story,
things are looking
and the
quite
millions
good.
of stories like
We'll
it,
discuss the
is a
next
mirror
steps.
held
Your
up to our
test results are
society.
back,
The
and
question it
overall,
forces us
things
to
are
ask
looking
is
quite
not just
good.
how we can
We'll
fix this
discuss the
broken
next
system,
steps.
but
Your
what
test
does it
results
say
are
about
back,
us
and
that we
overall,
allowed it to
things are
break in the
looking
first
quite
place?
good. We'll
And
discuss
who will
the
be
next
there for us
steps.
when the
Your test
silence
results are
becomes
back,
our
and
only
overall,
reply?
things are